What if I'm wrong? What if a God is real? Am I scared of being wrong as an atheist? Is it something I ever think about? It's one of the most common questions I get doing content about atheism, mainly from Christians. Most of the ones I talk to believe this idea that I, as someone who is unconvinced of the existence of their God, should give consideration to the idea that I could be wrong because there's punishment waiting for me after I die for this lack of conviction. I guess the worry that I should have about the idea of being wrong depends on how the God we're talking about treats people who don't believe in him. Now, despite constant research, study, prayer, and desire to be right about my former faith, I found nothing at the end of it all that convinced me that it was real. Let's assume that God works in a way that I hear about most commonly from believers. That he either sends people to hell or quote-unquote separates them from himself for all of eternity. That he doesn't show himself because he prefers faith, even in the face of clear logical, scientific, ethical, and narrative issues in the book that describes who he is. And also that he created me, you, and everyone else exactly the way we are. Which would mean that he created me to need tangible evidence for the things that I dedicate my life to. If all of these things are true about the God that's real, then I would find that God to be petty and self-centered. It would be pretty petty to make such high stakes of paradise or suffering, then choose to hide because of your arbitrary preference of blind faith, knowing that that would lead to otherwise decent people getting punished. Now, I could very well be wrong, but am I scared of being wrong? The answer is no. Besides the fact that from the outside in, these ideas of who God are appear to be made up by people wanting to coerce and scare people into the religion, I have no reason to be scared. If God is as fair and as just and as good as his followers make him out to be, then he wouldn't enact such a harsh punishment, if any, solely because I was unconvinced of his existence. Such a fair, just, and good God wouldn't care about being worshipped in the first place just for creating people whose autonomy and choice he actually respected. If I'm wrong about this God existing and they're as petty as is most commonly described, then not only is this a God that I don't want to spend even so much as a second with, much less an eternity, but this is a God who created me as a limited being to think in a way that ultimately led to my own demise. As unfortunate as that idea is, I have no reason to be scared. What do you think, though? Have you ever thought about being wrong? Let me know in the comments. Take care.